Stop paying for tools like Bolt and Lovable, because I'm going to show you the 100% free AI tool that you can use to build complete full stack application with your fully functional backend and authentication system. Also, I'll guide you how to deploy your application on a free server. So from developing an application to the deployment, you're not going to pay for any tool or anything. I'm going to show you the complete 100% free, detailed step-by-step beginner-friendly guideline in this video. One more thing, we'll use two different AI tools to develop this application. One tool we'll use to develop the front end of our application, and the other tool we'll use to develop everything else for our project. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner, by the end of this video, you'll be able to develop your complete full stack application with a fully functional backend authentication system and anything that you need for your application. And also you'll be able to deploy your application on a free server. So before we start, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on that like button as well. And also please hype this video. It will help us to reach more audience. Okay, the first tool that we're going to use is Google AI Studio. Now, please don't think that this is just like another video about Google AI Studio. No, this is not, because I'm going to show you that how to make the best use of Google AI Studio, and then whatever you develop using Google AI Studio, then we can just like take it to the next tool to build everything on top of it. So Google AI Studio we're going to use just to build a basic prototype, just to quickly put everything together, and whatever idea you have in your mind, just to like visually see that idea. That's where these web-based AI tools are really good at, especially if you're a non-programmer or you're not a software engineer, you're just like a random guy who just like learning vibe coding, or you're just a marketeer. So I think this kind of web-based AI tool just quickly help you to get started, and you can easily build something using these tools. Another thing about this Google AI Studio, it is built around the Google infrastructure. So that means all of the Google services, all of like Nano Banana or VO3 or any other Google services, like there are hundreds of different Google services. So if you want to like build anything using those Google services, it makes it super simple, and this is like probably the best way to build using Google services through this AI tool, because everything is integrated. Just have a look at some of these examples that were built using Google AI Studio. You can see someone just built an app using a 3D map, and also they integrated Nano Banana to then convert that 3D map into a realistic building. So there are plenty of these applications that people have built, but the problem with all of these applications is you cannot publish any of these applications like publicly on web, because all of these applications are just built using Google AI Studio. Even if you publish them on Google AI Studio, you can still not add your own custom authentication system. You cannot earn any revenue from these applications because you're not able to integrate like Stripe or any other payment gateways. So that's where we are going to use a second tool to build all other features. So first we'll build a basic prototype inside Google AI Studio, then we'll just like download that source code, then we'll just move to the next step. But first, let's just build something using Google AI Studio. So just make sure that you're at this URL, which is aistudio.google.com/apps. So just go to this URL, and if you have a Google account, perfect. Then we can just like easily sign up and then start using this absolutely for free, because Google AI Studio allows you around 100 credits every single day. That means you can easily build multiple projects. You can add as many changings and as many features as you want using Google AI Studio. So now let's just start describing our idea. I'm going to build an AI thumbnail generator application, but this will not just be a simple AI thumbnail generator application. There will be a twist. So you'll see that in a second. So let's just go ahead and start giving it the prompt. I want to develop an AI thumbnail generator application for YouTube. So Nano Banana is an AI model from Google, which helps you to easily edit different images. You can generate different kind of images as well. But the most important thing about Nano Banana is you can provide a photo of someone, and this AI model can actually create different versions of that photo in different poses, different angles, different lights, different outfits using Nano Banana. So let me just continue with my prompt. So this is how this application should work. User can provide their photo/selfie, and based on that, and they can explain what sort of thumbnail they want to generate and what text should be on the thumbnail. So this is our basic prompt. All right, so let's just press enter and see this in action. So I'll just press enter, and now click on build, and now you can see it has already started developing this application. Just like Bolt and Lovable, you can see its interface is quite similar, but we're using it 100% for free. We're not paying anything for this. It is absolutely for free. There is no cost to use this tool, so that's why we're just using this tool for prototyping. In a minute, once our front end will be ready, I'll show you the limitations that this application has. There you go. Within just like literally few seconds, our application is ready. So now this is how it works. First, upload your image. Second, describe your style. Third, add the thumbnail text. Then we can simply just click on generate, and based on our image it will just generate a thumbnail and then preview that thumbnail in here. So I have just uploaded a photo of myself. That's great. And now I can just explain a style. So my prompt is create a YouTube thumbnail for iPhone 17 review video. So that's my style. And next I want to add a thumbnail text, so I can just add maybe insane. So then I'll just click on this generate thumbnail button, and now it should generate a thumbnail. Perfect. You can see it has just created this thumbnail. It has created this text as well. Text is hidden behind his head, and it has added, like, I don't know, very weird kind of iPhone 17. And now you can see there is this text as well, iPhone 17 review. But you can see we have a limitation here. It has just generated this image, but we are unable to now further customize this image. So let's just ask it to add a feature where we can mark an area on this image, and then we can customize any thumbnail after it is generated, so it will be more like visual editing. So let's just see if it can do that. So my prompt is simple. Once a thumbnail is generated, I want you to add an edit feature. This is how it should work. User should be able to select an area on the thumbnail and then give a prompt what they want to edit, and our tool should be able to edit that in that particular area. So that's my prompt. I don't know if you are able to see that or not. And now you can see it. So this is my prompt that I'm just giving, and now let's just press enter and see how it works. So one thing that you might have noticed is it did not ask for any API key for Nano Banana, because this tool is already integrated with all of those different services. But now you might be thinking that, okay, we are maybe like restricted to just use this inside this interface. But no, as soon as we'll download this source code, I'll guide you that how you can then provide that API key inside your project and then add it as an environment variable, and then just use it the way you want. And also, if you don't want to use API key from Google AI Studio, you can definitely add any API key from a third-party source, maybe from Grok or maybe from OpenRouter or any other API providers. So that's not a limitation. Once your app is generated, once you download your source code, then you can just like use it the way you want. So I think our project is here ready. Let me just upload a photo. So I'll just upload this photo again. Let's just add another feature. So here you can see this is the describe your style. So I think let's just ask AI to suggest us different styles, and we should be able to just click on that rather than like I typing it. I think AI can actually do a better job. So in describe your style, please create different kind of styles and give an option to select face expressions. Our tool should be able to create face expression of the character. So yeah, this is kind of like basic feature that we just need to have in our tool. So let's just see. So what I want, rather than like I should like type anything to describe my style, because being a user, every user is a stupid, so they don't know what sort of style they want, they don't know like what they should be. So we just need to present options to users to then choose from those options, because if I have to type my style in here myself, so I can just maybe get confused. We'll still give that option to user, but what we want is user should be able to just choose from an existing style. So that's what we want. Okay, perfect. We have got our styles in here, and also we have got different options for facial expressions as well. So let me just upload my photo again, and I can just add a style, maybe, I don't know, cinematic, and I can then add surprised facial expressions and iPhone 17. Yep. And then text on the thumbnail should be maybe like, I don't know, like insane. Let me just click on generate. One thing that is missing, I think, if you want our character to hold something, so I think we can do that too. So you can just add another feature where our character can actually hold something, maybe a phone or anything. So you can see it has just like create this image. There is insane on the background. So yeah, I mean, we need to add more details in here to create like much better thumbnail. Now add options about the details of the thumbnail. User should be able to explain what the character is drawing in the thumbnail and what sort of background thumbnail should have, and also different text designs, styles and font styles as well. So we need different inputs from user to confirm these details, and based on these details our tool will generate the thumbnail. The reason why I'm actually making all of these different changings and just like showing it to you in live, because I want to show you that you can build almost any sort of application using this tool. So this tool has, of course, you cannot integrate any third-party services in it other than the Google services. So this tool has limitations, but still using the existing Google services, you can still build a lot of stuff. You can at least like build a fully functional application in just a few minutes. And also you can make so many changings on the go without worrying about like paying. And once you're done with everything and all of the features that you wanted to add, then you can just like download the source code and open it in a different tool. So here you can see it has just like added these different sections. The one is character action, background description, add text style, text and style. Perfect. So let me just add photo, same photo. Maybe I think we can use a different photo, but that's fine. I can just add, I don't know, cinematic, facial expressions, joyful, and character action. Character is holding a mobile phone, showing its screen to the user. Perfect. And now the background description is, I don't know what sort of background we should have. New York City. In text style, simple plain text with drop shadow. So drop shadow will actually help increase the visibility. We can, by the way, add an AI option here to let user just like explain whatever they want to add in here, and then AI can just automatically generate that text if you're getting bored of like just typing. So you can do that too. Choose a text style, any of these, bold and punchy, of course. Generate thumbnails. So now let's just see what sort of thumbnail it will generate. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so unlock your potential ultimate phone hacks. That is amazing. You can see our character is holding this phone. That is amazing. Then it is showing this screen to us. That's amazing as well. We have got New York in backdrop. That's amazing. And then we got text with a backdrop. Now we can just like be more creative and then explain in more details, but it can create a perfect, beautiful thumbnail. Now, much awaited feature, we need to test our edit functionality. So let me just click on edit, and now you can see I can just like, let me just click on mark. I can just like, I'm unable to select an area on the image. Okay, so now we need to ask for a change this of this edit functionality. I found an issue when we click on edit button and I try to select an area on the thumbnail. It doesn't select the area on the thumbnail. I should be able to select area on the thumbnail and then give prompt, and our AI model should be able to make changing in that area. Now you can see it is just working on it, and hopefully it will be able to fix that and will be able to add and select an area on this thumbnail, and then we'll be able to make changes in that area. This time I have selected a different image of myself, and now I'll just like choose cinematic, maybe facial expressions, surprised, and holding phone, and background description, London city skyline. Well, London doesn't have a skyline, but I mean we have to travel literally 30 kilometers to see a proper London skyline. But yeah, let's just add a text and style, bold and punchy. Perfect. Okay, insane. Generate thumbnail, and now let's just see what it will generate, and if we are able to then edit this thumbnail, mark an area on the thumbnail, and okay, perfect. That's amazing. You can see it has just like generated myself, added a batter here, then we got London, we got the shard, we got this building as well. Okay, perfect. Insane. So it has added insane in there. That's amazing. I can just click on edit now. Okay, so it's not editing, that's the problem. So let's just take a screenshot. It is not selecting an area, so let me just provide that in here. Still, when we try to select an area on the thumbnail, it doesn't allow us to select. It should be able to mark the area with a brush or something. I don't know. Let's just press enter and let's just wait if it can actually generate this. Okay, perfect. Now again it has just made some changing. Let me just add my image again, choose a style. Let's just quickly like just leave everything else, click on generate thumbnail, and let's just try to generate something and try to edit that. So let's just see if it can actually make like we are able to edit something. So thumbnail is generated, that's fine. Click on edit and perfect. Now we are able to select. Okay, I can say add Mickey Mouse here. I don't know, just add anything. Let's confirm and edit. So I just like selected an area, then I asked it to add a Mickey Mouse in that area. So let's just see if it can add something. Okay, perfect. It was able to add a Mickey Mouse just in that area. That's amazing. That's exactly what we're looking for, and that's amazing. So that means our AI thumbnail generator is ready. So far we have generated a fully functional AI thumbnail generator application that has some unique features that other like general like AI image generation applications will not have. So it is more usable, it is more user friendly, you can create more customized thumbnails. So yeah, we have created all of that now. Next step is to now download this source code, because we cannot like go further and build an authentication system on that. We need to now download this source code and then do everything in a different tool. So let me just click on this download app button. I'll simply just click on that. Now I'll just open this inside a folder. So there you go, I have just opened that zip file inside a folder. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the next tool now. So the next tool that we're going to use is going to be an AI coding agent inside VS Code. If you are using something like Cursor or Windsurf, you can do that. But as per my promise, I'm going to show you the 100% free AI tool that you can use. So we are going to use a tool like KiloCode. You can use something like Klein, you can use something like RuCode as well, or something like Augment Code as well. But KiloCode, Klein and RuCode, these are like open source AI coding agent. So if we're going to use that, we are going to install it inside VS Code. But still the problem will be you need to use an AI model, and you need to like of course pay for an AI model. So I'm going to show you either the cheapest possible way to use an AI model or absolutely free way to use an AI model. So you won't have to pay for an AI model, you can just like use it absolutely for free. So once your project is opened inside a folder, next step is just download VS Code. So this is VS Code, you can just download it for free. It's a completely free tool, there is no cost for it. This is basically an code editor. This is not an AI code editor, this is just like a code editor. So but it does have an inbuilt GitHub Copilot as well. So GitHub Copilot is just like another AI coding agent, just like Klein or KiloCode, but it's not as good as we got other AI code editors out there. So simply just go to this website code.vlstudio.com, then you can just download for Windows. Once you have done that, now you just install it. Once you have installed it, now you can just like open it like this. So it will just open like this. Now what you can do, you can simply click on this open folder button from here. If you're an absolute beginner, that's why I'm just like explaining all of these different steps, because otherwise most of you would have like already used VS Code. So I'll just open this folder. Now you can see our project is opened. Now I assume you have no idea like about any of this, what is VS Code and what is React, because our project is built in React. So you have no idea what is React, and you have no idea about like how to now run this project on locally on your computer. So that's why I'm just like explaining all of these steps step by step. So please, if you already know that, just bear with me, because in just less than a minute I'll just like get everything set up, and then we'll just like start building on top of it from here. Okay, so inside VS Code, once you have opened your project and everything is ready, now next step is just go to your extensions section inside VS. So this is the extension section inside VS Code, you can just find it here. And after that you can just like look for maybe KiloCode, or you can just like look for Klein, but KiloCode is the best right now. It's a completely free and open source project, there is no cost for it, you're not going to pay for anything. This is 100% free AI coding agent, but still you need to like provide an API key. But just click on install, KiloCode will be installed, and this is how it will look like. This is how KiloCode will show it here. So it's installed now. Next step is you just need to go to these settings tab from here, just go there, and after that what you need to do, you need to provide an API provider. You need to set up an API provider. Right now I'm using KiloCode Gateway. Don't worry about that. You can use something like OpenRouter. So you can see there is this OpenRouter. Let me just see if Grok is here. So you can use Grok as well. So both OpenRouter and Grok are actually platforms where you can find different AI models, and you can use different AI models through an API key. But if you just go to OpenRouter, let me just go to OpenRouter, and here you can see you can find all of these different AI models from here. You can find Gemini 2.5 Flash, you can find Gemini 2.5 Pro, you can find Claude Sonnet 4.5, Sonnet 4, Sonnet Claude Haiku 4, 3.7 Sonnet, and like all of the famous AI models. Any AI model basically that you need for coding are available in here inside OpenRouter. But as I promised you, you cannot pay for any of these AI models. So what you can do, you can just like go to the search bar, just look for free, just type free, and here you can find a lot of free AI models in here. There is DeepSeek version 3.1, there is DeepSeek R1, there is DeepSeek R1, this particular version. And also we got these other AI models. We got OpenAI GPT OSS. We got GLM 4.5 Air. This is one of the best AI model out there for coding. One of the cheapest actually. I won't say like one of the best because there are better AI models, but this is the cheapest AI model. So let me just go to GLM 4.6. This is the, so GLM 4.6. So you can see the GLM 4.6 is available in here. So it will cost you around $0.40 per million input tokens and $1.75 per million output tokens. But you can use it, but as I promised you that we're going to use an absolutely free AI model. So for that you can use either GLM 4.5 or you can just like maybe choose Gemini Flash as well. In fact, Gemini Pro is available for free. So you can use maybe Gemini 2.5 Pro or you can use GLM 4.5 Air, and this cost you $0 per million input tokens. It has a smaller context window which is only 131,000. So now you can just like go back to your KiloCode. From here just choose OpenRouter, just select OpenRouter, and now you need to provide an API key for OpenRouter. I can simply just click on get OpenRouter API key. You need to just sign up using your Google account, and after that just go to keys section, and now you can just like click on create free key, and let me just call it test tutorial, click on create, and now it will just create this API key. I'll just copy this from here. I'll just add this API key in here, and now we can just like choose an AI model from here. In fact, here as well, if you just write free, you can find a lot of AI models are available here for free. There you go, Gemini 2.5 Flash is available for free as well. So now what I'll do, I'll just click on save from here and just go back to KiloCode. In here I'll just add plus in here to just start a new chat, and now let's just give it a simple prompt. You are inside a React project, please understand it, and then run this project. To run this project you can either tell KiloCode that you'll need an API key, so you can just like provide an API key now, or if you don't know, if you have no idea what's going on, so you can just like ask it to, then you can just like ask it what sort of API key do I need to run this project. So let me just give it. To run this project you will need Gemini API key, please use this, and now you need to provide an API key of Gemini from Google AI Studio dashboard. So now you can just go to Google AI Studio, from here just get an API key, and now you can just maybe create an API key or just use any existing one. So for this tutorial I'll just use, I don't know, like this one. Just copy this API key from here, paste that in here, and then just press enter, and now let Gemini and KiloCode do all of the rest of the tasks. So now you can see it has just created its to-do list. First it will analyze the project, second it will configure Gemini API key, and then third it will install project dependencies, and then it will run this project. So now it has already started like running everything. It has already used this Gemini API key in here. Now it is going to install all of the dependencies. So speed so far is perfect, and now it is just like installing all of the dependencies for our project. All of the dependencies which are required to run this project, it is just installing that. You are not doing anything, it is just like doing everything for you. So everything is done so far in less than a minute, and now I can simply just click on run, and now it will just run this project. So now I just run this command npm run dev. It was having an issue in running this command inside KiloCode, so I just run it separately in here, npm run dev, to run this project, and now you can see it is running this project on localhost. I just opened that in here, and our project is running in here. Let's just quickly test it. So I'm going to choose that exact same photo. I'll just choose a different style. I'll just leave everything else to default, and let's just see if it can create a thumbnail. That will mean that now everything is done, and that's amazing. This is the thumbnail that it has generated. This is amazing. This is nice. So that means everything is working. Our Gemini API key is working. Our project is working on localhost. Now once you have done this, now next step is to build an authentication system. That's technically like the most ideal step for you. Like now build an authentication system, so whoever wants to use this tool should be able to just authenticate. So you can just like build an authentication system using just Google. So there are other options. You can use Clerk as well to build authentication system. There is Stack Auth as well. There are a lot of other options. So you can use either Google's own Google Developer Console. You can use any other authentication system provider, but let's just keep everything simple, and let's just use Clerk to build authentication system. Let's just not use Google, because for that you have to like set up the Google developer console account. You need to add your payment gateway in there. You need to correct your credit card as well. So maybe most of you just don't want to do that. And by the way, it doesn't cost anything. It is free for until I think 100,000 users. But let's just like go ahead and just use Clerk to build an authentication system, and then just build a proper professional authentication system using Clerk. So this is Clerk. Just go to clerk.com and you can just like sign up for free. You can easily just use your Google account and just sign up on Clerk. You don't need to provide anything. You don't need to add your credit card, debit card, or anything. Just sign up on Clerk and that's it. After that, you can just like click on this create application button, and now you can just like give it a name. I'll just name it thumbnail tutorial. Just give it any name. So this is the name that will show on your sign up screen in here. So just make sure that you provide your original name. Now you can just add any authentication provider in here, any sign-in options. You can just like provide an option to sign in with phone. You can provide an option to sign in with Facebook as well, with Apple, with GitHub. You can just like add as much sign-in options as you want, until 3 only. So I'm just going to stick with Google. So I'll just like I provide this option only, sign in with Google. And now you can just like click on create application, and now our application will be created. Next step is what you can do. The good thing about Clerk is as soon as it will create everything, now provide us this prompt. There is a detailed prompt that it has just created. I can simply just copy this prompt from here, and now I can just like go back to my AI code editor inside KiloCode. I can just paste that prompt in here. That's it. That's what you need to do. There is no other step that you need to do. Yeah, you need to provide your environment variables for sure. So the environment variables are in here. So this is just one environment variable that you just need to provide. Just copy this environment variable from here and just paste that at the end, maybe something like this. And now everything is done. The prompt, detailed prompt is ready. It has already explained what is needed to be done. Now you can just like press enter, and now it will generate the complete authentication system. It will add a complete authentication system to your application easily without any problem. So let's just scroll down and see. So right now you can see it has already started integrating authentication system, already started developing this complete authentication system into our application. It is using Clerk. You can see it has already installed the Clerk package in here, the Clerk dependency for this project. And now it has added this environment variable. I need to just copy that value from there, and then it is just updating our code to integrate this authentication system. By the way, if you just have a basic know-how of React, or like basic know-how of like coding in fact, so you can easily integrate it by yourself. You can just like copy this code from here. You can just add it to your source main.tsx file. Then you can just add your Clerk provider inside that same file, and then you can just create a header with Clerk component inside app.tsx file where your main app content is. So you can easily do it yourself as well. But why we should do it ourselves when we can just like easily do it using AI? So now you can see apparently it has just finished this task. All tasks completed. The task is finished. I can now refresh. Let me just check if it has added the environment variable. So environment variable is not updated in here, so I can just copy that environment variable from here. Now I can just paste that environment variable in here. Click on save. There is one syntax error. The error is this. So .env void, so it could not recognize .env. Okay, let me just quickly run the application and let me just refresh, and we can see there is already sign in, sign up buttons in here. So let me just click on sign up. And there you go. You can see our Clerk sign up, that thing is here. And now I can simply just click on continue with Google, and I can just like log in using my Google account. I'm actually signed out from this Google account. So let me just open it in here, localhost 3003. Now I can just click on sign up, continue with Google, and I should be able to now sign up, continue, and perfect. Now I am signed in. You can see my Google account is signed in. You can see my Google account icon as well in here. Now I can simply just click on this manage account, and in fact I can just like, you can access my account settings in here. I can just like add or delete anything from here. So you can see how easily we just integrated authentication system into our application. Now next step, if you want, is you can build complete database for your project. To build database, we usually use Neon.tech. So let's just go ahead and do that. So this is Neon.tech. So you can just like go there, you can just like click on sign up if you have not signed up, or you can just like simply click on login, and you can just like log into your project. Now I can just like create a new project in here. I can just name this project thumbnails tutorial. Now you can just choose your cloud service provider. I can just choose AWS, and now you can choose your region. I'll just keep everything simple. Neon, by the way, also has a Neon auth, but we have already built an authentication system. We don't need that. So what you can do, you can simply then click on create, and now what you can do, you can simply just click on this connect to database. Simply click on this connect button, and now you need to just copy this database URL from here. This is connection string. You need to just copy that from here, and now you just can go back to your KiloCode, click on start a new task. Now let's just build backend for our project. I want to use Neon.tech. You can add that Neon MCP server inside KiloCode. You can easily just like go to your MCP server section, and you can add Neon MCP server in here. Here is the database URL, database connection string. So I just provided that connection string. If you don't want to add MCP server, or if you just like for context, if you just want to provide documentation, you can just even just provide documentation as well. So if I just look for connect a React application to Neon, you can just like open that. Now I can just copy this URL link from here. I can just provide here. I can mention it documentation link, press enter. And now in fact, if you want to add MCP server for Neon, that will make everything simple for you. So you can just add edit global MCP. So this is the code that you need to provide in here. If you just go to Google, look for Neon MCP server, and you just click on this first link, and now you can just find this code in here, copy this from here, and then paste that code inside. It will ask you to approve this MCP client authorization. So I can just open this inside this browser. I can click on approve and authorize. So now authorization successful. You may close this window. That's amazing. Our MCP server has been added in here inside our project, inside KiloCode. So now let me just give that prompt that I just created. Now let's just build backend for our project. I want to use Neon.tech. You can use MCP server. So I've just mentioned everything. I have provided Neon.tech connection string as well. I have provided documentation link as well. So let's just press enter, and now it will start building backend for our project. Because we already have connected MCP server, that means we don't need to literally do anything. This will just manage everything by itself. You can just like start explaining what you want. Like just to start, you can just like add whenever somebody signs up, you need to like store that in a certain table. After that, whenever someone like just generate a thumbnail, you need to store that thumbnail in your backend. Whatever you want to like do that, just explain that your MCP server is set up, your backend will be automatically developed now. You don't need to worry about anything. It is asking to approve this. So it just asked for MCP server authorization again. I have just authorized that. I don't know why it is asking us to do that again, but we have just done that, and it is done. And you can see it has authorized that in here. Let me just see if it has created a backend or not, because to create a proper functional backend, it needs to run SQL query inside Neon in here, and we need to find some tables in here. So let's just check if there are any tables. There are no tables. So now let's just ask it to please create a table for all of the users application. Whenever someone sign up, it should add that user to that table. So this is just like a simple functionality. Press enter, and now it will just carry on to develop this functionality. It will create a table that we can then locate inside Neon.tech. So this is the SQL query that it is going to run to create that table. So let's just wait for it. Integrate user authentication system. Okay, perfect. So now the user authentication system that we created inside Clerk, it is going to insert logic into app.tsx file using Clerk using data. So whenever we log in using Clerk is another service, but Neon is another service. So we are integrating both of these services. So whenever user logs in using Clerk, that user data will be stored in this table inside Neon. And I mean, all of this it is doing for us. Perfect. That's amazing. I can now just refresh. Let's just see if table is created. No table is created. Okay, so maybe it just did not run this SQL query. The table is not created in Neon. Please run the SQL query to run the table, to create the table. Press enter, and now let's just see if it can automatically run this SQL query. There it is. This is thumbnails table. This is the users table. Perfect. So it was not able to execute this SQL query. So I don't know the issue. The issue Neon MCP server, which is remote server to connect. Okay, it does not expose. Well, it was working fine with augment code. I don't know why it did not work here. Now I can just like run this and switch to Neon MCP server. Please create the SQL query. I can run it myself. I think there is an issue with the MCP server. It was not able to run query directly from here, but I was actually able to do that using augment code, because I was using augment code and I was able to do that using using augment code. So now this, you can see we have just run this SQL query, and now it should create this table. So one table is thumbnail, one table is users. That is just mind-blowing. Okay, last thing that we need to do is to deploy this project on a server now. So now to deploy this project, what we can do, we can use Vercel. So what is Vercel? Vercel is a platform to deploy your project. So you can just go to vercel.com, you can just sign up. This is free to use. You can use it absolutely for free until a certain point, but I'm sure for all of your like hobby projects, you can host, I think maybe 50 different projects on Vercel. So you can host like forever. You can host all of your projects here in this hobby plan. It won't ask you to like pay anything unless your app goes viral, your user base grows to maybe like 10,000 or like maybe 100,000, and your app is being used too much. Then you can just like switch to this plan, which is $20 per month. But other than that, you can use Vercel absolutely for free. So you can simply just sign up, create an account, and you're good to go. Now to deploy this project on Vercel, you need to push your source code on GitHub. What is GitHub? GitHub is a platform where you can upload your source code. Just like for now, this is too much information for you. Okay, so just consider this is a platform where you just can host your source code. So now you can just like click on create a new, just like go there, sign up, and then click on create a new repository. Just create a new GitHub repository. Just give this GitHub repository a name. I'll just give this a name, AI thumbnail generator, open source. I have already created that one. Okay, fine. So just give this my name, and after that you can just like choose the visibility of your repository. You can keep it public if you are just like okay that anyone can actually copy your source code, that's fine. Otherwise you can just like keep it private if you don't want anyone to see your source code. After that you can just like click on create repository, and that's it. Now your GitHub repository is created. Now you can just like run these commands inside your terminal. I actually did that part, but my recording was stopped. Let me just show you. I just like did that. I just run this GitHub git init, this command. I just run it here, git init, and then I run this command git add to like stage everything for commit, and then I run this command, which was git commit first, and there is this git commit first. Then I just run this command, and then after that I just run this command to connect my GitHub repository inside my terminal, like that particular GitHub repository. If you are using GitHub for the first time, you might have to log in this inside your terminal. So it will ask you to provide your like login password and username, or just like it will prompt a login screen. You can just like log in, and final then is I just run this command, and that's it. And it just like push that code in here. You can see this is my source code. Here it is. This is my source code. Now after I did that, next step is now I can just like deploy this project on Vercel. So just go to Vercel, click on add new, click on project, and here you can see it automatically fetched my repository in here. So this is a new one that I just created, but this is the one that I created 7 minutes ago. My recording was stopped, sorry. So you can just like click on import. This project is already deployed. What I'll do, I'll just delete that project from deployment first to just show you a demo. So I'll just click on settings. This is our open source one. All right, okay, just click on setting, delete this project. You can see I have to enter this in here to delete my project, and hold on, yep, sorry, I need to remove this, delete this project, and now this project is deleted. Now next step is I can just like click on, let me just refresh to see if that project is deleted. Perfect. And now I can just like click on import in here, because it will automatically show your project in here. It will ask you to first like connect your GitHub account. If your GitHub account is connected with Vercel, it will automatically fetch all of your latest repositories in here. Just click on import, and now next thing that you need to do, which is the most crucial, most important part, is you need to provide environment variables. So just go to your project, just go to .env.local, just copy these environment variables from here, just come back, paste these environment variables in here, click on deploy, and now your project should be deployed. Sometimes there can be an error on this stage, so if you ever face an error, you can just like copy that error, paste that inside your AI coding agent, and then it will just fix that error for you. But hopefully this time we won't face any error, because this is just like a simple application. And there you go, you can see our application has been deployed and we have got this URL in here. For some reason this is giving this MCP server configuration error. Yeah, that's fine, that's all right, that doesn't bother us. So if you just go to your projects, you can find your, let me just click on refresh, and as soon as I refresh, where is open source? Here is open source. So there is my open source project, and this is my project domain name. I can just like click on that, and I can just like, now this is public domain name, I can just share it with anyone. If I want to add my own custom domain name, what I can do, I can just like go to my settings. Inside my settings, I can just like go to my domains, and here I can just click on add new domain, and now I can just like enter my domain name in here, click on save, and then it will ask me to add a name servers and add my DNS settings on my domain name provider. So let's suppose if you purchased a domain from GoDaddy, or in my case I buy domain names from Hostinger, so I can just like go to Hostinger, go to my account, and this is my domain portfolio. Let me just click on any of these domains. I can just click on manage, then I can just click on DNS name servers, and then I can just like change name servers from here, or I can just like add DNS record in here. It will ask you to do that, and then it will just automatically connect your domain name with, and then your project with your main domain name will be live. So yeah, so this is how simple and easy it is to skip Lovable and not pay for Lovable and Bolt.new, and you can like start doing the actual development using actual tools, because once you have your code locally on your computer, now you can just like use any AI code editor and then like carry on your further development locally on your computer using any tool, and then you can just integrate any services, any API keys. In fact, similarly, you can just like integrate Stripe. You can, there is a Stripe MCP server as well, just provide Stripe keys. If you want me to like create a separate video about that, I just like create a much longer video, but right, I'm tired, I'm sorry. But yeah, this was it. Now you just carry on from there. If you have any further confusions, any further questions, just leave your comments in the comment section. I'll make sure that I'll be like quickly like just respond to you, because I do respond to almost every single comment. If you're still watching this video, thank you so much, and I'll see you next video.